Greetings, Quester, and welcome to the Bards Corner with Matt and Heather.
Hi everyone, welcome to Bards Corner.
Bit of information first of all, if you haven't already seen or heard it, please check out our interview over the phone with Night Ranger's Kelly Keegi.
Yes.
You can find that on paradisrock.co.uk. You can find that on the Meddlesome Meeple's YouTube channel, and you can also listen to that via the Bards Corner Music News podcast. Some information on a new Houston album. Houston 3. Swedish AOR band Houston will release their fifth album 3 on November 24th via Livewire and Cargo Records UK. So for those who are unfamiliar with them, they've been around since 2010. They landed the number one spot in Classic Rock magazine's AOR chart that year, and that was against competition from other bands like Unruly Child, Crash Diet, Heat and Nelson. So this is one that you're going to want to check out. That's going to be out on November 24th. Also, Bad Touch are touring in November in the UK. Ahead of that, they've released a new single that's featuring Molly Marriott. You can check that out. That's Baby Get It On. It's a cover of a 1975 Tina Turner song, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. So they're also going to be starting their tour in November. That's going to be Thursday the 9th, starting at the Corporation at Sheffield, and that's going to be running through till Sunday the 3rd of December. So there's quite a few dates there, so you can check out all the information for that on paradisrock.co.uk. Now, Panorama. They are a new band. They've signed with European label Rock of Angels Records, also known as Raw Records. So you can find out some information about that online. This is produced, recorded, mixed and mastered by Dennis Ward, probably best known for his work with Pink Cream 69. But just to give you an idea of who the band is, because it is members of different bands, Christian Palin is the vocalist from Randomize and Adagio, Dennis Ward on bass from Pink Cream 69 and Unisonic, Sammy Lasagni on guitars from Gods of Silence. He used to be with Kirk and Godiva. Ben Varron is the guitarist from Amoral and Grease Helmet, and Philip Eichenberger, he's the drummer from Gods of Silence and Kirk. So members of a few different bands there. That is due for release not too long actually, early 2018, so a little bit later than some of the other albums we've talked about, but we'll bring you more information about that as it comes along. Pride and Joy Music have announced that they've signed Squealer, and now they were a German metal band. They released 7 successful studio albums between 1992 and 2008, but after 2008 they disappeared. They reunited in 2016 with a new singer, Sebastian Warner, and they're going to be releasing a new album via Pride and Joy Music. So we'll be bringing you more information on that soon. That album is due out on the February the 23rd, so a little while yet.
What reviews have you got this week, Matt?
First off, we're looking at Jeff Scott Soto's Retribution review. Now that's out on November the 10th. Now it's been 15 years since Jeff Scott Soto partnered up with Frontiers Records for his solo release.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
So they decided to make a album to celebrate that. That's titled Retribution. Now this is a very, very, very good album. It starts off with the title track, which is quite a heavy melodic rock song. Occasional feels of prog influence. But all throughout the album, Howie Simon is fantastic on guitars. Some really good solos on there. There are 2 songs that he's not on. One's called Rain Again, I think, and the other one is Song for Joey. Now on Rain Again, instead of... Yeah,
we've been watching Friends, sorry.
On Rain Again, that's got August Sadra from the Dennis DeYoung Band on guitar, and Stephen Sturm instead. But Howie Simon, other than those 2 songs, Song for Joey is Paolo Mendonca Mendonça, I think his name's pronounced. It's I'm not sure how the pronunciation of that because it's slightly Portuguese.
I don't think anyone know the difference.
But the rest of the album, it's Howie Simon on bass and guitar, and yeah, there's some really great songs on there. One of my favourites is probably track 3, Rage of the Year. Jeff Scott Soto's vocals sound absolutely great on there. Some fantastic drumming as well as guitaring. When I actually was listening to this album for the first time, I kept going back to listen to that song again and again before I actually finished the whole album.
Oh, I know.
Rain Again was another one of my favourite songs on there. That one's a bit of a slower song than Rage of the Year, but it's got one of those like really feel-good factors that you can imagine playing as you're driving along the coast or something like that. It's really good. There's 3 different ballads on there as well. Feels Like Forever is the first power ballad on the album. That carries a lot of emotion through it. But then you've got Song for Joey, which again is another softer song, but no less powerful. Retribution then starts to get a little bit faster again. Breakout comes on. That's quite a fast-paced song. There's guitar solos in there, quite a heavy undercurrent. But yeah,
I love the cover.
Yeah, the cover is very, very good.
Pretty cool.
It's got some very good artwork on that.
I was always really jealous you got to see him live as well.
Yeah.
So jealous.
Which time? I've seen I've seen Jeff Scott Soto live a couple of times.
When?
Once when he was doing a solo gig, and once as part of Wet. He's the lead singer of Wet.
When was that?
That was a few years ago.
No, the solo one, but I didn't know about Wet.
Yeah, so I've seen Jeff Scott Soto a couple of times.
Now I'm even more jealous.
Yeah, that's fine. You be jealous. I'll be cool and you'll be jealous. Okay, I'm getting an evil look here.
We're mature. We are responsible adults. We look after little people and everything.
I really enjoyed this album. I've given it a 9 out of 10. You can read the full review for that on paradiserock.co.uk.
It's pretty cool.
I would say this is probably one of the unmissable albums of 2017. Jeff Scott Soto and Howie Simon together are absolutely brilliant. There's a lot of guitar-driven songs on here, a few heavier tracks, but those are nicely balanced out by the ballads as well. There's plenty of feel-good songs, some really catchy songs. I really enjoyed this album and think that if you're a fan of Talisman, Soto, or Jeff Scott Soto's other solo material, if you're a fan of Eclipse, Wet, Pink Cream 69, House of Lords, then you definitely want to check out this album. It's probably going to make our top 5 of 2017 list. That's going to be out on November the 10th via Frontiers Music SRL. So be sure to check that one out.
And next one, we've got The Dark Element.
Yeah, now this is quite interesting. It's a new project fronted by former Nightwish and Alyson Avenue singer Anette Olzon, alongside Finnish guitarist and songwriter Jani from Sonata Arctica and Kane's Offering. This is coming out on November the 10th. Now, I would say I enjoyed the first track on the album, but I wasn't too sure at first. Because it started off with a bit of an electronica metal type feel as opposed to symphonic metal, which is what I expected it to be.
I was going to say it might be what you're expecting though, because you heard her in Nightwish.
And I'm familiar with Sonata Arctica and Kane's Offering, so it was a different sound to what I was expecting, to be honest. But as it played through, I actually started to quite enjoy that song. But when the next song came on, My Sweet Mystery, it felt like I was back listening to Dark Passion play again.
Yeah.
It sort of really took the album up a few notches, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of got that ring to it, that kind of quality.
Yeah. I know Anette Olzon got a lot of stick from certain quarters, so it's not a popular thing to say, but actually I really like the albums that she did with Nightwish. So I'm quite happy to have an album with that kind of sound again. There's another song on there I really liked called The Ballad. Someone You Used to Know, The Ballad. That's got some really great vocals on that one. And I like the way that the song subtly shifts from sort of piano and vocals to a more symphonic power ballad sound. So I like that. Halo was another song I
quite like Halo, yeah.
Yeah. And The Ghost and the Reaper. They still had some electronic influences, but they felt a lot more symphonic than, say, I Cannot Raise the Dead, for example. So there was a few on there. There's a couple of ballads as well. Heaven of Your Heart was a good ballad, as was Only One Who Knows Me. Again, very slow start. There's a couple of other really good songs on there, Dead to Me and Here's to You. Now, if you go on to paradiserock.co.uk and you click on the album review, you'll actually be able to hear 3 of those songs, because there's videos on there for My Sweet Mystery, Dead to Me and Here's to You. All in all, I had to give this album an 8.5. There are a few things I wasn't too keen on. I didn't particularly like the slight lean towards a more electronic style as opposed to
I think that's
symphonic.
more personal preference. It wasn't bad. It was just personal preference, isn't it? Yeah.
That is entirely personal preference. But I really liked the album overall, and I felt that in many ways it felt like the natural sequel to Nightwish's Dark Passion Play album. A couple of the songs on there really made me feel like I was listening to that again. So I would say if you're a fan of Sonata Arctica, Nightwish, Within Temptation, Epica, Stratovarius, then this is an album you definitely want to check out. I'd say, although she's had a bit of a break from performing, I think Anette Olzon sounds as good, if not better, than ever. So I was really happy with this album. This has probably been one of the best female-fronted albums I've heard this year. So I'm highly recommending that. That's again out on November the 10th. If you go on to paradiserock.co.uk, you can get a lot more information on that. You can read the full review. So, what did you think to any of these songs, any of these albums that we've been talking about today? Let us know.
Farewell, Quester. To find out about other productions by the Meddlesome Meeples, then check out our channel or rendezvous with us at meddlesomemeeples.com. Until next time, Quester, farewell and keep thine axe sharp.